I have somewhat of a mixed feeling of being here today. One, we know that it is important for us to be here to remind our residents and our leaders in our various departments of the important work ahead. It is also sad that we have to remind you of that because it suggests that there are challenges and difficulties and people in our community who are rightfully concerned. I was extremely proud a couple of months ago to hold a rally right outside this facility called Stand Up Montgomery County Way. When I woke up that morning, it was a Sunday morning, rather cold, the coldest it had been all year. And I said to myself, I think I've selected the wrong day to have this rally. It was windy. And my question was whether people would show up and would it really represent the broad representation, inclusion of Montgomery County. To my pleasant surprise, the foyer, the entire area outside was literally filled with people. People representing all segments of Montgomery County, saying and standing with us to say, we recognize that Montgomery County is an excellent place in which to live, to work. It is a place of inclusion. It is a place where we treat people with dignity and respect. And that's the way it should be. But people are still somewhat fearful. And you've received a great deal of questions and comments trying to respond to all of the concerns that are out there. Now, we can't respond to all of them, but there are a great deal that we can respond to. First of all, keep in mind that we are not changing. We are not moving back. We are going to stand for the Montgomery County way of inclusion. This is a community. This is a community that welcomes people, and we treat all people with dignity and respect. So if nothing else that you leave here with today, keep in mind that for Montgomery County, nothing has changed. We have been at this administration, for a long period of time, working through various departments that you'll hear from a little bit later on this morning. Our Department of Recreation, Police, Correction, Office of Community Service, all trying to ensure that we're on the right message. And there are a number of things that we've been doing over the last couple of months. For example, the Office of Community Partnership, along with the Gilchrist Center, has provided us with a guide to answer a number of the questions that people will have. And hopefully that is being circulated for you, and so that you can see that. And it provides a number of services that you'll see in this brochure, and we are reaffirming that. We will continue to update that to make certain that you have the resources that are needed to respond to the many questions that are out there. This will be in both English and Spanish as well. We've also looked into how we can assist people because a large part of the community that you are dealing with, they do not have legal representation. And that is critical in many of the situations that they find themselves in. Through our Office of Community Partnership, we've reached out to the Montgomery County Bar Association Foundation to get pro bono legal support and assistance so that people will have that. So we have a guide for lawyers who want to provide pro bono services for the many people who are needed them. And most importantly, we have a unique way in which we contact people in Montgomery County. And we don't want to make it complicated to give you a lot of different numbers and sources. We want you to simply go, if people need it, 311. We have the resources and places of people there to answer the questions and to assist and get them in the right direction. So we're not going to give you any different numbers. We want you to use that number because it's simple, it's easy. So those are the things that we are doing. But most importantly, though, we're not changing anything that we've done in the past. We want to treat everybody with dignity and respect. Now let's hear from, because this is a partnership, as I said before, we go back a long ways in what we've done in Montgomery County. We outlined here in this administration, going back to 2009 and 2007, many of the actions that we continue to take today that have applied us with a balanced approach to how we deal with immigrant issues. And so let me now introduce Council President Roger Burnell. Roger?
Thank you, County Executive. On behalf of all of my colleagues on the County Council, and I see Councilmember Reamer has joined us, Councilmember Hucker, Councilmember Navarro, all of us stand by the Montgomery County way. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is not simply a country of immigrants. Our county is a county of immigrants. There are 170 different cultures in Montgomery County. We are an extraordinary place. And we are an extraordinary place in part because we respect one another, support one another, we take care of one another. And as the county executive said, we do not want to be here. We don't want to be here today. It is almost unimaginable that we are here today having the kinds of conversations we are having today with our people. None of us took on this responsibility in order to serve as a bulwark against the President of the United States. But the President's executive orders are not okay with us. And I will say to you, the way we go about our work in Montgomery County, you should feel proud of. Because we do two things. We hold our community together, and we safeguard our community in ways that you should be proud of. The Constitution of the United States does not allow the federal government to impose on our local police an immigration responsibility. Our police do not ask people their immigration status if they got stopped for a speeding ticket. We need the community to have faith with our police department. We cannot allow people to be so fearful that they go underground. We cannot allow people to be so fearful that they do not take the benefits that they are entitled to take. We cannot allow people to be so fearful that they keep their children away from school because they're afraid their children will be taken. So our responsibility at this moment in time is something none of us had imagined, but something that we will stand up and do, which is to assure our community we are one Montgomery County. There cannot be any them in Montgomery County. There can only be us. And I am confident that our county, under the leadership of the county executive and my colleagues on the county council, that is the work we will do. When we get to issues like immigration, you know, in the Constitution, if you are charged with a criminal crime, you are entitled to a defense. You are entitled to a lawyer. In immigration, you don't have such an entitlement. And yet the consequences can be just as damaging. Imagine if you have somebody, a parent, who is taken and have children, U.S. citizens, who are left as a consequence. That is why we spent the last hour learning from the people behind me, the providers of legal services and the providers of support services, understanding their needs, understanding the needs of our community as seen through their eyes, who work every day to try and protect our residents. And one of the things that people really need to know is, what are their rights? And one of the initiatives that I am sure that we will take on is to make sure that Montgomery County helps everyone understand what their rights are, and that we create a means by which those in our community who care deeply about this can contribute their dollars, can contribute their time to making sure that those who are threatened in the ways in which we are threatened today have an ability to protect themselves. We will do all we can to hold our community together. That is our commitment to you. That is our commitment to ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.